Okay, we're going to go through this first test review. And I think it's important that you guys watch this because I'm going to point some things out that I still see us doing wrong on our quizzes. And it will help you make sure you're not making mistakes on the test. The one thing I can say is that on the short answer, you need to show work. So this one just says right in slope intercept form. So here is our b. So if we're doing y equals mx plus b, our b is 1. My slope, they give you these dots because that's what they want you to use. But you should be able to see that you go up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. So if you use the 2 dots, you'd get 6 over 4. But then that has to reduce to 3 over 2x plus 1. Y equals negative 5x minus 7. Now they want you to use your slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you label your points. This is 1 on your test. x1, y1, x2, y2. Sorry. This is one of the ones on your test that you would need to show your work. So this is what your work should look like. 1 minus 4 on top, y2 minus y1, 6 minus 5 on bottom, negative 3 over 1. You can leave it, either one of those answers is correct. But just putting this would get you 1 point out of 3. Because there's going to be 2 points for the work, 1 point for the answer. Graph, negative 3x plus 4. So, go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My slope's negative 3, so I go down 1, 2, 3 over 1. Down 1, 2, 3 over 1. And I'm just going to do this a few times to try to make sure. You can also go the opposite way, over 1 up 3, if that helps you. So there is my line. You sketch right through it. This one here. So what we know from this is that we have an x1 point here. We have a y1 point here. So it's the opposite because our point slope formula has a minus sign in it. So in this one, we're starting at negative 3, and then my slope is 2. So I go to negative 3. Right here's my start point, and my slope is 2. 2 over 1. Okay, that's enough there. Oops, I just dragged my whole thing. Point slope. So actually this is just like the previous problem because this is why I would have positives on that last one even though they were negative points, because I have y minus a negative 1. And over here I have negative 5 x minus negative 9. So this becomes y plus 1 equals negative 5 x plus 9. Unless it tells you to write it in a different form, leave it like this. Next one, still point slope form. We're going up by 18 and up by 2. They're both going in the positive direction. So 18 over 2 gives me a slope of 9. I can pick any points I want. I'll just pick the first ones I usually do. x1, y1. So you get y minus 27 equals my slope which is 9 times x minus 3. Match the equation with this graph. They want you to use standard form here. So when y equals 0, 4x equals negative 12. So I divide by 4. X equals negative 3. So I could immediately go around here and I could eliminate this one. And I could eliminate that one because they don't cross at negative 3, 0. Well, now when x equals 0, negative 3y equals negative 12. So when I divide by negative 3, y equals a positive 4. So that one's a positive 4 there. This one here is at a negative 4, so that's wrong. B's my answer. Same thing, what are the intercepts here? So when x equals 0, when y equals 0. This is one where you guys are not showing your work. I don't care how easy it is. Show your work or you lose points on the test. So you show me that you divide by 6. And that is 12. Okay, when y equals 0, 4x equals 72. So half of 72 is 36. Half of that is, so you got 18. Divide by 4. X equals 18. Do not do this. That is wrong. I still have people doing that, and I have to mark your answer wrong. You could do all the work here correct, and then all of a sudden, I don't know why this is not drawing my circles. There it is. You can do all this work, and then you write this, and you get the answer wrong. Your answer is 2 points. 18, comma, 0, 0, comma, 12. This one here, write an equation, standard form, number of gallons of paint and rollers you could buy with $180 is standard form question. So the only thing you have to be aware of is you notice how the P's and R's are reversed here. So it's $34.75 for the paint. Parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. So my slope here is 2. Notice how they told you in parentheses, keep in point slope form. They may not tell you that on the test, but it's just so simple. Don't spend time changing it. Some people would do the following on their last quiz. They would do y minus 8 equals m times x minus 2. You can go back into Elluminate and check your quizzes. They're both unlocked. You enter in the quiz code that I gave you, and you can see every question you got wrong and how many points you got. So let me fix this. No, we know the slope. So if we know the slope, put your slope in. Perpendicular. So my current slope is negative 2/5. My perpendicular slope, you have to flip it and take the opposite sign. I have some people, I noticed as I was going through these reviews, as you were turning them in throughout the day yesterday, you're not flipping this, so they would just write 2/5. You got to flip it and change your sign. Y minus 0 equals my new slope, 5/2. X minus negative 1 becomes plus 1. If you wanted to simplify, you could drop it. That's still considered point slope form. Either one of these are okay. If you just see the y by itself and they tell you it's in point slope, you would just assume it's y equals 0. They want to know if these are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So you need to, in this case, find the two slopes. So I have a slope on this one of negative 7/4. We already know that. This one here, I have to subtract my 16x and get it to both sides. This is another, these two questions, people are not showing their work on. So again, people are getting the 1 point out of 3, 1 point out of 4. And it's just costing us points that you need. Simplify, negative 28y equals negative 16x minus 32. Now what am I worried about here? I'm worried about what my slope is. So I'm going to divide by negative 28, divide by negative 28. And so this tells me my slope. This gets divided by negative 28 too. So here's my slope. So some of you would be quick to write neither here, but let's take a closer look here. So two negatives equal a positive. So I have 16 over 28. And now I divide by their greatest common multiple. They both have a 4 in common. So if I divide both of these by 4, I get 4/7. So if you look here, negative 7/4, I flipped it and took the opposite sign. These ones are perpendicular lines. If I graph those two lines, they would make a plus sign. Same thing here. Add my 21x. Negative 18y equals 21x minus 1. Divide by negative 18. Now, you don't really need to simplify on this one because I have a slope. Ooh, you might. Spoke too soon. One slope's negative 7/6. This slope here, I currently have 21 over 18. Again, some people might write neither, and I was about ready to write neither until I realized that, hang on here. If I take this and simplify and divide both of these by 3, I also get negative 7/6. Same slope, parallel. Way too many people on their homework got to 13 and 14 and just wrote neither on both. You can't do that. Okay, so there's your full answer key for review number 1. Hopefully you can use this and retry review number 2. If you can do review number 2 without any issues, then you're probably all set for the test. So get to work. That's due on tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, or which would be Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Have a good one.